the next question. Why sadness is an unwholesome mental state? Why sadness is an unwholesome mental state? All right. Why mindfulness is a wholesome state? Why wisdom is a wholesome mental state? Why effort is neither wholesome nor unwholesome if they stand on their own? For example, you see, when we learn about the states of mind, different states of mind, and this time a bit of theory, especially in the Abhidhamma theory, will be helpful. It will be helpful. For example, the question over here, why sadness is an unwholesome mental state now? Because actually it's a easy answer. Because it produces unhappy resultant in the future. It produces unhappy resultant in the future. That's why it's unwholesome mental state. It produces unwholesome, if not unwholesome, unhappy resultant in the future. The in the future can be now, can be next life, can be in the future lives. Because its nature is like that. Wholesome mental state, for example, like mindfulness, every time the mindfulness arises, there's always wholesome, there's always a resultant in the present, in the next life, or in the future lives. There will be resultant. Not just because the Abhidhamma Sukha, you want to categorize this, you want to categorize that as they like, It's not because of that. It's because they produces resultant. Karma, cause and effect. In the understanding of Abhidhamma, there are certain number of things will always produces unhappy resultant. Every time, like anger. Anger is an unhappy resultant. Greed, also the resultant is also unhappy resultant. But again, greed, there's different level, very different level. Anger, no different level. Even like Anagami also still got a little bit of greed now. Anagami, right up to greed, still got a little bit. But it's usually this type of craving, not the sensual greed, but still fall under greed. Okay? But that one, this one, the resultant is very, very little. It doesn't bring them into woeful states. But sadness one, it brings you to the woeful states one. If the condition is strong. Anger, if the condition is strong, it brings you to the this one also. Like wrong view. Wrong view is a terrible, unwholesome state. And yet, people don't think of it as horrible and so on. You see, the first thing Arahanta, first thing as a Sotapanna to do is to cut off that wrong view. It doesn't cut off anger yet. It doesn't cut off greed yet. It cuts off that wrong view first. The wrong view is terrible. You can be a very nice person. You can be a wonderful person, but full of wrong view. Somehow wrong view attracted you. Somehow, because we do not know what you have done in the past. You can be a very kind, you can be a very pleasant person, but full of wrong view. And that wrong view, if it remain dormant, it remain not so strong, then you're quite okay. But if it goes up stronger, that wrong view will spur you to kill, spur you to cheat and whatever. And then you believe that you're still right. You believe that you're still purified. Yeah. You can kill, you can do whatever kind of thing. You're still you still think that you're a good person because you follow that type of teaching or that type of view. Yeah. During the Buddha's time, people met Buddha face to face so many times. But because of their wrong view, right in front like that, the Buddha spoke, cannot go inside, cannot understand at all, cannot touch at all that into the heart. Uh, uh. So this sadness, it falls under, there's a greed, hatred, and delusion. Dosa, loba, dosa, moha. The three evil roots. So this sadness also falls under the hatred group, dosa group. Dosa group, you have a number of them, like aversion, anger, aversion, anger, dislike. Then you have this like fear. You have this fear. You have sadness. You have jealousy. All these fall under the hatred group. This dosa group or hatred group, it becomes one characteristic that binds them: unpleasant mental feelings. It binds them all. So every time sadness arises, every time anger arises, there's always unpleasant mental feelings. The bodily unpleasant bodily feelings is like your pain, aches, and so on. But when it comes to unpleasant mental feelings, it's like your sadness that's connected with it, or jealousy connected with it, or anger connected with it, and so on. So next time when you have sadness that comes up, emotional state, very strong state, it comes up, or the fear that comes up, at the time you take an opportunity to take note of it, see and feel how this sadness come up, how this sadness is there, its characteristic. Even the tears may come out, or it can come out like a waterfall like that. Just note it, observe it, and feel it also. And during this time, the sadness sometimes becomes stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until you can't take it. That's how much your defilements are. It's trying to show you your defilements are that much, until you develop your mindfulness getting stronger and stronger day after day. Then next time when this type of sadness coming in, you see that the mind can able to manage it a much more better. It still come in, doesn't mean it doesn't come in, but when it comes in, maybe this time no more tears already. Still sad, but no more tears already. Because that sadness may be associated with somebody pass away, loved one pass away, or some certain incident in your past. Then every time you touch on that sadness, all the tears and everything happens. So this time is that as a yogi, your job is to see the sadness, see its characteristic, how it burns the heart, how it really make a turmoil, inside the heart. So pay attention to it, learn to feel it. You will see the difference as the mindfulness starts to develop. Whenever it arises, and it will definitely arise one day or another, when it comes up, you see that when the mindfulness gets stronger, you can manage on it much more better. Until one day, the mind getting so much more stronger, you can still remember all the passing away of the loved ones and all that thing, but the sadness, it's over. There's no more sadness, because this time comes in with just mindfulness and understanding of the states of this thing. So, in other words, the unwholesome karma is not being produced at that time anymore, because the sadness is no more. Thoughts are still there, but the sadness is no more. So you stop the present production of the unwholesome karma, unwholesome mental karma. You stop the production at this moment of time. Then that's why it becomes much more happier. Yeah, huh? So something like that. Huh? So sadness is an unwholesome mental state because it produces unhappy resultant. Yeah. When let's not go and talk further into unhappy resultant because it's going to touch on hell, animal kingdom, and all that thing. It's a lot. Maybe because now it's hungry ghost, y'all get even more fearful. Sometimes when we talk about all these type of things, sometimes yogis they have don't know what type of phobia that they have, phobia about ghosts, phobia about everything. They come to retreat, they have to come together, cannot come alone. After I'm afraid that all things come in. When it comes to like, don't know which talk I will talk. Somewhere in tranquility or in concentration, I will touch on the different types of mental states also, and see where all our phobia comes in, and also learn how to overcome them also. But if the phobia is still strong, which is actually a fear, if that's strong, then you have to take a longer time.